Okay, so now we will see today. So yesterday, you people having any kind of doubt related to built-in functions as well as uh, sequence. If you are facing any kind of doubt or if any kind of problem you are facing while practicing or something, so that you can just ask me. Otherwise, we can move on and we'll start the group by and having clause. What is the use and how to how to do use this group by clause. Okay, please ask if you are having any problem, then otherwise we'll continue. Anybody? Okay, so let's move. If you are not having any problem, then we'll move for next topic called group by and having clause. And then today we will see this group by clause and having clause, as well as we will see alter command in depth. Okay, so now we can see here what is the use of group by and having clause. So group by basically clause is used to divide the table into various groups based on the specified column value. Okay, this line is clear, right? So if I want to divide our data based on some column, okay, so in that case you can use group by. We will use to access the information depending on the group created by using the values of specified column. Okay, so it will not be used to access the whole information of the record. If you are using group by, then you need to use some aggregated function to access the other information. So we have already seen some functions yesterday. Here you can see these are the aggregated functions, right? We have seen. So based on this function, I want to group the record. Okay, so today we'll see that. So if you want to filter the group information, then you can use having keyword and followed by some condition. Okay, if you want to filter the group, then you can use having keyword also followed by the condition. Suppose you want to filter our data based on some group and you want to apply some condition also. Okay, in that case we can go for having keyword. If you are not specifying any condition, no problem, you don't have to use having keyword. But if you are specifying some condition, if you want to specify some condition while accessing the information in the group, and then you want to specify some condition, in that case you can use having keyword also. Okay, and with the having keyword you can use only the column that is defined with the group by. Okay, so the meaning here is, so whatever the column you are using at the time of grouping, okay, because I am fetching the information based on some group. Okay, so if you are using the group by clause, okay, and if you are grouping the table based on some columns, okay, because while you will use group by, you have to specify some column. I want to group based on this column. So how many columns are participating? Suppose two or three, whatever it is. When specifying the having clause, having condition, you have to use only these columns. Whoever or whatever is used while grouping the data, okay, the same column you can use to define having condition, having clause. Okay, so other column cannot be used with the having keyword. If you want to filter the record, then you need to use where keyword with the condition. Got it? So if you want to filter the record, then you need to use where keyword. So if you want to use those column, if you want to use the column which are not participated into group by condition, okay, then only then that time we can use where clause. Okay, and then here you can define the condition or whatever the column you want to specify, you can specify here. Whether it is coming under the group or not, it doesn't matter. Okay, so group by basically to filter out the record based on subgroup, or maybe if I want to uh, group the records. Okay, so that you can use group by, and if you want to specify some condition, okay, if I want to group the record based on some condition, okay, you can use having clause, but the condition of using having clause is if you are using having keyword, you can use only those columns which are participating into group. Okay, and if you want to use other columns and want to specify some condition, you can use where clause, where condition. Okay, so this is how we will see now. So for MySQL, one by one we will see. First we will see in MySQL and then we'll see in Oracle. Okay, so we know first we will what we'll do, we create one table as follows. So we will create the same table. Okay, here we'll see the show tables. So tables are these many. Now I need to create this table. Create table student. Okay, sid int. Let me just s name, email, varchar, phone, city. Okay, so these are the columns present inside the student table. Okay, table is created. Now what is the description of this table? Okay, so I haven't specified any constraint here. Okay, if you want you can use those also, but for as of now just I'm using the simple table: sid, sname, email, phone, city, state, and fees. So these are the columns which I have defined here. Okay, just 1 minute. So already we have created the table. Okay, and few columns are there. These are the simple column I've defined: integer, varchar, email, phone, city. Okay, and state, fees, all those data type I've defined. Now I want to specify insert. See what is the instruction is giving: insert some record and apply the following condition. So we have to insert some record now. Insert into student. Let me just okay. Okay, so we will insert some record. Insert into student table. SID, as name, email, phone, city, state, and fee. Okay, and values. Some ID, name, some name, email. Okay, phone, city, and state, fee. Next ID, some name, email. Okay, phone, and city, date, and fees. Similarly, we'll insert one more record. So why I'm inserting this record? Because I want to show you the grouping example. Okay, so these many various records I'm inserting just to make sure that you will understand the concept. Okay, name, email, c@javapuzzles.com, and some phone number, city, maybe Delhi, and state is New Delhi. Okay, and fees is some fees. Similarly, we should enter next record 104, name. Okay, phone and city Hyderabad, and state the fees. City, okay, date, and fees. Okay, city is suppose Chennai, and fees. Similarly, one more record 7. Okay, and name, email, okay, some phone, and some city. City is Delhi, it is New Delhi, and piece is this one 108 H, email, some phone number, and city, some city name, and date, fees. Similarly, not 9, name, phone number, and city. City is maybe again my state is fees is, and last record 10, name is J, email, some phone numbers, city, okay, and state fees is, okay. So these many records have been inserted. Any problem? So we'll see here, select start from student. Okay, so all the records are present here. Okay, so now I want to group this record. Okay, I want to group this record. So apply these conditions. Select. Okay, so now my requirement here is that I want to know the total collection from Bangalore. Total fees collection from Bangalore. Okay, what I have to write? Select. I want the collection of fees, right? Okay, from student table, where city is equal to some city name. Okay, so what is the fees total? Sum of fees is 23,889 rupees is the collection. Okay, so we'll see it is true or not. Okay, so it's a true value only. Okay, if you will find out this in this way. Okay, now so different city collection. Suppose instead of Bangalore, now I want to see. So this is the collection of Dehradun. So now what I want to see here is, okay, my requirement is I want to take the collection, select total collection, okay, from student table, okay, where I want to, where city in, okay, so I will take two city this time, Bangalore and Chennai. Okay, so this is the total collection of these two branch, Bangalore branch and Chennai branch. Okay, so you can define the same condition like this also. City is equal to Bangalore and city is equal to Chennai. Okay, so but here see, city is equal to Bangalore. So this is the total collection is coming. Okay, instead of and we should declare as or. Okay, in this case the total collection from these two branches are 36,111. So the same condition I defined using in operator. Already we have discussed this thing. Now, okay, I want to take I want to take the total collection from each branch. Okay, that means I want the to first we have to group the city and then we will take the collection of fees. How? Select total fees from student. Okay, group by which column? City column. Okay, if I will see here, if I will say like this, so it will return me the total collection from each branch. So how many cities total cities are 5. Okay, so if you will select, it will be more clear. If you will see here, select city comma sum. So this time I think it is making more sense, right? From Bangalore branch, this is the collection. Dehradun branch, this is the collection. Delhi, Hyderabad, and Chennai. Total collection is this much. Any doubt while using group by keyword here? Why we are using group by? Why we are using group by clause? Any confusion as of now? Okay, so Ullas is saying Hyderabad comes under Telangana state. I know this for example, but for information. Okay, okay. Apart from this, I mean, anybody is having any kind of doubt in group by clause? Okay, if you're not having, then we can move further. Okay, now in my table, okay, my table is having the record select star from student. So how now instead of city, okay, I want to take the state. Okay, each state, what is the collection? Got it? Each state. So based on, I don't want a collection based on city. Now this time I want to group the data based on state. So instead of city, you just say I want the data based on state. Okay, so in this state column, you can see here what it is saying. Okay, select list is not in group by clause and contains aggregated column. Okay, city, which is not functional dependent on column group by clause. Okay, so here, so you remember this thing. Okay, so you are using this time state here. Okay, so state column is participating in group by condition. Okay, that's why you cannot select city here. You have to specify state column only. Okay, now this time you can see the, so here we can use as also instead of, because here it is displaying sum of fees, right? I don't want this, I want as collection. So you can see here state is Karnataka, collection is this much. State is UK and collection is this one. Okay, New Delhi, and this is the collection. AP, this is the collection. Tamil Nadu, this is the collection. And okay, so I think there is a typo in between these two states. Let me just see. Okay, so I will update table, update table student set state is equal to where student ID is equal to 109. What happened? Okay, so what is the problem in this? Okay, okay. We should not use student. Okay. Let me just see here. No, it's fine. Now let me run the previous query. So this time only 5 states are there, and this is the total collection. Okay, that clear to all of you, right? Now what I want is I want city information also here. Okay, so so for that city comma state comma sum of p as collection from student table. Okay, and group by city comma state. Okay, that whatever column you are selecting, that column must be present into the group by clause, then only you can select that column. This time you can see here City is Bangalore, state is Karnataka, collection is this much. Okay. Similarly, Hyderabad, Chennai, all those. Okay. So this is how we can use the group by clause. Okay, and it's very important, and you should understand this. Okay. Now I want to ignore something. Okay, so select state and city. Okay, from so now my condition is, so here you can see, let me just show you some result first. Okay, okay, and let me just add few more records. Insert into student. Okay, so we'll see. uh, we will add 111 ID and name. Email, some phone number, and city. City is suppose uh, state is UK, and fees is some fees. Maybe similarly here I will enter one more records. Case, email, phone number, city, city is, and state is Karnataka. Fees is something. One more record. 1 3 and email, phone number, and city is some city name. Let's take some name. Actually you can take. Okay, let me take it as and state New Delhi, and fees is 13,000. Okay, now I will see the record. Okay, so these are the records present. Now my requirement is, okay, if I will see here, if I will run the previous query, this is the query now I'm running. Okay, so my collection is from state by collection is uh, Karnataka. Okay, so in Karnataka there are two cities, Bangalore and Mysore. So if I will only say that no, I want only state collection, so these two value also will be included, because This is a collection of Karnataka state. Similarly, from New Delhi there are two cities, and okay, and from Uttarakhand there are two cities, Dehradun and Ranikhet, suppose. So this is the two state. I mean, this is the two city present in Uttarakhand. So it's a total collection. Now my requirement is here that I want inside this group. Okay, if I will say group by, let me just remove this city, remove this city. Okay, and then you find out the collection. No. So inside this Uttarakhand, okay, this is the overall collection. It is including both the city, Ranikhet as well as Dehradun. Similarly, Karnataka was also having both the city related collection. I don't want to keep these two cities at a time. Okay, I don't want to include the collection of the Mysore city here. What I should do here, I need to specify the condition. Okay, so I want to filter out the record inside the group. Okay, if there is a requirement that again while grouping also I want to filter out that record inside this group, we have to specify having clause. Okay, having city not equal to Mysore. Okay, now we see. Okay, okay, so let me just show you here. We have to include this also inside the group, then only you can specify this city related condition inside the having clause. If this, because you are grouping the data based on city and state, so you can only use these two columns while specifying the having condition. Okay, so keep in keep this thing also inside in mind, and here you can, if you want, you can add it here. Okay, now see here, earlier what was the collection for Karnataka? The collection was 32,126. Now for Karnataka, what is the collection? This is okay. If you don't want to include city column in select clause, okay, do remove this, it will be better. Now you see Karnataka collection total 23, but earlier it was 32,000. So this is the way, this is how you can specify the condition inside the group by clause. Okay, so again, okay, so this thing is clear, right? So you can see a state, city, and sum of fees collection from student group by state, having state is not equal to AP. So okay, now I have shown you. Okay, I don't want to include city, but this time I want to include everything. Only thing is just having. Okay, now so if I'm not including city, then you cannot use city column. Okay, you cannot use city column into having clause. Okay, having, you can use only state column. State not is equal to, I don't want to include state, which one? Suppose don't want to include some state name. Okay, so I don't want this detail. Now only Karnataka, Uttarakhand, New Delhi and AP coming. Okay, so this is how you can specify the condition. So similarly the same state, city, and here you see from student where fees in between this group, and okay, group by state, city, and having state is not equal to AP. So you can get it right. So now you are specifying where clause also. So let's see here. Okay, so instead of city we will specify the condition state. State is not equal to UK, and now you can specify the condition here also, where what I want fees must be greater than 13,000. Okay, then only you use group. So only these three states are there. Okay, so where the fees is greater than 13,000. Okay, so okay, let me just see here. And you are not. Okay, so we are using group by city and state. So it is showing you New Delhi also two time. Why it is showing only, I mean, two time? Let's just remove this where condition. What is the output? Why New Delhi is repeating two times? Okay, so that's why, because we are specifying city column also. So based on city also it is grouping. So this is not city. It is okay. If I will remove the city, now it is working fine. And then you just remove the city from here. Okay, and you specify the condition where fees is greater than 13,000. This time we will see only two states which are having the fees greater than 13,000. Okay, and group by this particular. So I want to group the record. Okay, after filtering out this condition. Now whatever rows or how many records are there who are first, what it will do, first it will check how many records are there which are having the fees greater than 13,000. Okay, so we will see here, select star from, okay, select star from student where fees is greater than 13,000. Okay, so it will give you only four records, right? If I will not specifying this condition, maybe I am using 15, then only two. Maybe I am decreasing this 10, so it will increase one 5 records. Okay, if I will decrease it till 9, it will increase the records. Okay, so instead of this 13,000, now I want to check only 9,000. So total records which are having fees greater than 9,000 are 6. There are 6 records, okay, who are having the fees value is greater than 9,000. Now inside this, so this is the result set. First it will take these many records. Now it will apply the group by condition. Now it has to group based on, here you can see what condition you are specifying, group by state. So in this record, in these many records, it will group the data based on state. So how many states? Karnataka, UK, New Delhi and AP. Okay, if I will specify this, you are getting Karnataka. Okay, but what is the fees value? Greater than 9,000. Okay, but here, see here, at last we are ignoring this UK. That's why you are not getting. If I'm not ignoring UK, okay, I'm not specifying this having clause. In this case, you will get all the four column, all the four state. But instead of that, I am just declaring here, I don't want to include the data of Uttarakhand. So this is how you can specify the condition. Okay, this is the condition. Now here for MySQL, this is the syntax. You can see select city sum, go by city with roll up and without roll up. We'll see what it will do. Okay, we'll see. So now what it is saying, you are grouping the data based on city. okay, with roll up option. So with city and sum of fees. So say Bangalore, Chennai, all the based on city, it will say here. It is grouping the data. But here, if I'm not using this time, I'm not grouping the data based on city, I'm grouping the data based on state. So this is with roll up option, and here, okay, so see, if I'm removing this roll up, what is the difference? Okay, so let me just see here. And if you want to specify in the Oracle, okay, so this is the way how you can specify the roll up option inside the Oracle. Okay, so what is the use of roll up? Can anybody tell? What is the use of roll up? What it will save? What it will save, Sagar? No. Okay, we'll see that. Okay, so these are the way. Now we will see few questions here. Okay, what is the difference between where and having clause? Can anybody tell what is the difference between where and having clause? Please tell what is the difference between where and having clause? Anybody? Guys, tell me what is the difference between where and having clause? What about others? It will start from defined condition. Okay, having clause, it will start for reason for grouping. Okay, what about others? Ullas is saying don't know exactly, it looks like same. Mm-hmm. No, but there is a difference between these two. Okay, okay, first understand the difference between Okay, what is the use of roll up option here is basically if you want to group the data. Okay, so here you can see few null values also. Okay, where Karnataka is there. Okay, but city is not present, and this is the value. See here, and so few null values are also coming. So it will, because it will take, okay, all the because here you are defining state and city, and using this, okay, it will uh, see, you can see all the combination. But here, by without using roll up, you can see only these values. Okay, so this is a basic difference between this roll up option. Okay, you will understand once you will do some more practice. Now the difference between having clause and where is, where clause you can use to define the condition, as well as having clause you can use to define the condition. But using the having clause, you can define the condition by only using the columns which are present in group by clause. Okay, but inside the where you can define the condition using each and every column, okay, which are present in table. So this is the basic difference. This is the main difference between where clause and having option. Okay, so the condition specified in where clause will be available in each row of the table, whereas condition specified in having clause will be available for each group. Okay, use where clause to filter the rows and use having clause to filter the group. So this is more generic definition. I think you understand, right? So this is how we will now. I think it's everything. Everybody is now clear, right? What is the difference between having and having clause and group clause? Sorry, difference between having and where clause. Okay, so this is how you can see. Now we will see alter command in depth. Okay, so alter commands in SQL. Till now, any problem? Okay, now we'll see alter command in details. Okay, so 1 minute. So let me just take first thing, renaming the table. Okay, so there are two syntax. Okay, I will follow the same. Okay, inside the, I mean, I will follow the, like, first I will show you the syntax of MySQL, then Oracle. Okay, similar. So you can do practice also similar way. If you want to change the name of the table once it's created, if I want to change the name of the table, then you can use, okay, then you can use this particular syntax. Now, so here there is a table called student, right? So already we have seen show tables. So maybe I want to change the table name, some, maybe I want to change the table name of stud. Okay, I want to change the table name of stud. So rename table. Okay, and table name I want to change of student to student underscore. Let's assume. So table is renamed. Okay, you can see here how many tables are there. Now that table is being renamed. Now if you want to see, if I want to change the name again, you can change the name again from student underscore to stud. So this is how you can change the table name. Okay, in Oracle also it is the same syntax. Okay, so this is, for example, you create this table and try to change the name of that. Okay, now here in Oracle there is one more syntax inside the Oracle. Let me just, okay, well, after this I think I'll follow all the syntaxes. I'll share the Oracle screen and then I'll show you. Okay, let me just finish first MySQL here. Okay, so if I want to rename the column, Okay, if I want to rename the column, what I need to do, maybe you can see a description of, as of now, recently we have created this table, description of student. These many columns are there, right? So now I want to change the column, right? So fees column I want as fees balance, okay? And SID also I want to change with a student ID. Now what I need to do, alter, okay, alter table, and table name is student, okay, and rename column, which column you want to rename, SID, okay, SID, rename column name to which column you want to, student ID, okay. Like this you can see here, instead of now SID it is changed to student underscore ID. Similarly, alter table name, okay, rename column name is fees to fee bell, table is rename, column is renamed. Now you can see here, okay. So similarly you can change again from fee bell to, just for understanding purpose you just remember these are the syntaxes, okay. So here again in the previous state, because previous state was SIDS name email, so same. So this is how you can change the name. But inside the Oracle, the syntax is alter table name, rename column name to this column. So it will work in both. Okay, and in MySQL also you can use same syntax. So this will work with both. Okay, so here alter table name, rename column name to column. Okay, so it will work. Okay, so this syntax will work with both Oracle and MySQL. This syntax will work with both. Now only for MySQL, this will not work in Oracle. Okay, let me just see here, alter table name, okay, change column, okay, change column, let me just see here. Okay, so you have to specify the new, so student ID underscore ID and int will not, okay, I'm sorry, alter table name, change, okay, change SID into student ID and data type also. If I'm not defining data type, there is an error. So you have to define this data type also. So here you can see, okay, student table is not exist. Let me just change it here to 10. Okay. Now this is changed. Now you can see here description of student. Clear? So there are two syntaxes. Okay. If you don't want to use, I think that will be, instead of this, you just use a rename student ID to SID. Alter table name, rename column name. Okay, so this is better syntax, I think. Okay, so this syntax will work only in MySQL, not in Oracle. Now I want to add some column. Already I have told you this. If I want to add, there is a syntax called alter table name, add column name. Okay, similarly you can add multiple columns also. Okay, so you can see here. So as of now there are total 7 columns. Now if I want to add table alter table name, add, okay, add, and if I will uh, add column, and suppose if I'm adding area of bearcat, suppose like this will also work. Okay, but I want to add multiple column at a time, multiple columns at a time. So here now you can see whether it is added or not, right? Now if I want to delete, alter table name, drop column area. Okay, column is deleted, right? Now if I want to add multiple columns at a time, so alter table name, add column. Okay, so here you can see, here just define all the columns, only one, it's okay, only one column will be added. Okay, now if I want to add few, let me just drop it first, and then I will add one more column, area, okay, date of birth, okay, fee paid is of type float, fee balance is of type float. So these many column at a time I am adding. Now you see here the description, all the columns are added. Now if I want to drop these columns, okay, at a time I want to delete all the columns. So you just define all the columns here like this, area, date of birth, fee paid, and fee balance. All the, okay, so here there is issue. What is the syntax? Okay, so here you know no need to use this bracket, round braces you don't have to use. This is a problem. Your table name, drop column, correct only, right? Not sure. Let me just check it. Okay, will not work. Okay, so I think you'll see this how we will delete multiple column at a time. Okay, so now area be fee paid and fee bal. So that, like this you can delete multiple columns. Okay, so I think it is not it is not working in MySQL. Let me just check it later. And alter table name, drop column city. So this is for both in Oracle also and in MySQL also. Now I want to see modifying the data type. Okay, my requirement is, so this SID column is of type int. I want to change the data type of this integer to long, from integer to long, or maybe face column I want to change the data type from float to double. Okay, so which syntax we should use? Alter table name. Okay, modify fees column as double. Okay, so now you can see here 13 rows are affected. Because why 13 rows are affected? Select star from, because 13 records has been present. Okay, you can see here. So this is the value, right? So these are the value all were earlier was stored into the float. Now it is stored inside the double type of data. But suppose this is the city. Okay, city is of types varchar, and I am changing the city data type from varchar to integer. Can I change this here? We cannot change these values, right? The city values. So what will happen? Okay, so let me just try it. I want to change city column as int. So you will see here it is saying incorrect integer value. Okay, so what it is meant for means the city, it is unable to convert this Bangalore value into integer value, right? So remember one thing, you can modify the data type only higher type. If it is long, you cannot decrease it to int also. Okay, that is also restriction. So what you can say, we can modify the data type if it is convertible. If it is able to convert, right, then only you can convert. First condition. Second, that is if it is suppose int, and if you want to convert into double, it is possible. But suppose if it is double, and if you are changing it into lower data type, then also it is a problem. Okay, so that thing also we need to remember. Now alter, if I will change here, alter table name, modify, I want to modify the uh, data type of phone from long to int. Is it possible? No, out of range value. Okay, so you cannot come back from long to int. If it is int, you can change to long, but if it is already long or double, you cannot change into int or float. Got it? So this is how you need to remember this rule. So while changing the data type of the column, make sure that records should be present. But if the records are present, then whatever data type you want to specify, that should be assignment compatible. Okay, so int can be assigned into long, but long cannot be assigned into int. That thing you need to remember. Also, if you're changing from string to int, that is not possible. If it is, see, that is also depend if the string varchar value. So we have seen the city value is Bangalore. Okay, instead of this Bangalore, if the city would have suppose something like this 5647 like this, then we are able to change the then we are able to change this into int. Then there is no problem. It should be it should be compatible, assignment compatible. Okay, so now I want to add constraint. Okay, if I want to add a constraint later in the table, okay, once it is created. So first let's see here description of student table. Okay, now if I want to change if I want to add some constraint here inside this table, there is no constraint added now. Okay, now if I want to add the constraint, then you have to use alter table name, add. I want to add primary key. Suppose I want to add primary key to which column? I want to add the primary key to SID column. Added, right? You can see here primary key is added. Okay, but make sure whenever you are applying this primary key, all the values should, whatever, if the values are present already, see currently you can see here all the records are present. Make sure if you are making this SID as primary key, all the records whatever are there present for that particular column always has to be unique and not null. Then only you can apply the primary key. Maybe if I will insert, let's first I will remove this. Okay, let me alter table student drop primary key. Okay, now there is no primary key. Okay, now I'll see the records and let's insert some duplicate. Okay, insert into student. I will add 113 only again, and some phone number, some city, state, and some piece value. Let me insert this. Okay, so state, total 6 columns are there. No, total 7 columns are there. So let me just see what is the column, which column is missing. Okay, name, I haven't provided the name. Okay, so now this time it will be inserted. So you can see here, so there are one duplicate record. Okay, inside the SID. Okay, now if I want to change the if I want to add the primary key constraint to the SID column, alter table name, add primary key to SID column. Okay, then you can see there is a one duplicate entry present inside this particular column called SID. Okay, so you cannot use or you cannot give primary key. You cannot mention this column as a primary key because there is one duplicate record. Okay, so make sure whenever you are altering the table, so better thing is the records must not be present. If the records are not present, easily you can change your description of the table. Okay, if records are present in any of the column, then you have to pay some attention while modifying the table structure. Okay, so this thing also you need to remember. And if you want to delete the primary key, okay, so there is one note while adding the primary key to the columns, then make sure that available record should be unique. Okay, so that thing you need to remember. Now dropping a primary key, it's very simple again, because as we know only one primary key we can define. So syntax is also like this: alter table name drop primary key. It know where is the drop primary key, where is the primary key. You no need to mention the column name here. So syntax is also like this because the rule is only one primary key we can define. So that's how the syntax is also like this. Now adding the other constraint. So here this is the way: alter table name, add constraint. Now this time instead of add primary key, there is a way, there is a syntax is there is syntax called add constraint, and the constraint reference name and constraint name, column name. Okay, the syntax, I mean this constraint reference name is for unique key. There is a reference name called un, and for primary key there is a syntax, there is a constraint reference name called pk1. Okay, so primary key like this. Okay, so we can try it this thing now. So already we have added primary key. So primary key again we will not add, or let me just remove this record. Delete from student, where if you will specify the condition that where SID is 113, then it will delete both the record. Okay, what I will do, where SID is 113 and city is Bangalore. Then it knows which record I need to delete. Okay, so one row affected. That means one row has been deleted from the column, from the table. Okay, select from student. Now, now we will add alter table, table name. Okay, add constraint. Add constraint. Which constraint I want to use? I want to add constraint, suppose here, but phone is the long type, so you cannot use unique key with the long data type. Okay, remember this thing. Let me just use unique constraint with fees column. Okay, let me just see here, constraint un and unique constraint name. For fees column I want to add the unique key constraint. Okay, so this is how you can add. Now I want to add the primary key also. Okay, so add constraint pk1, and you can, there is one more way you can add the primary key like this also. Okay, so this is okay, but okay, so because already, let me just check, I have used fees column as the primary key. No, let me just see here, description of student table. Okay, so this will, it became primary key. Now I want to remove this. So what I need to do, alter table, table name. Okay, drop primary key. We know how to remove primary key. Okay, but okay, alter, instead of student I need to write it here, table. So now record is being deleted. This constraint is being deleted now. Select star from student. Okay, I want to add the primary key to SID and unique key all. So if I will see here, okay, still this primary key is showing. Okay, okay, so let me just alter table, table name. Okay, let me just see the different content. Drop key pk1. Can't drop, check that column key exists. Okay, so let me just see here. Okay, let me just remove un. Yeah, so I removed primary key earlier. Now I need to remove unique key also. Now see, there is no constraint. So not null, still it is there, right? It's showing as not null. So anyway, we'll see that. Okay, so I think everyone is clear in this, right? Any problem while adding the constraint and removing, dropping the constraint? Okay, for unique key and primary key, there are these command that you need to remember. Alter table, table name, add constraint. For unique key, this is the reference and unique key. Okay, if you want to apply primary key for, and you want to make composite primary key, okay, then you have to enter s name comma other name. Similarly, sid also, you can add more columns here. Okay, the combination of these columns will become the unique. Okay, and dropping the constraint is also very simple. In the case of Oracle, alter table, table name, drop constraint and constraint reference name. That's it. You don't have to specify any other thing. Okay. So here there is a difference, drop key and here drop constraint. So earlier what we were doing here, while dropping the key, but inside the Oracle you have to use constraint, drop constraint, and inside the MySQL drop key. Okay, so this is the small concept of altering, how to alter, and what, and there is a small concept of SQL group by and having clause. Any doubt in these two concepts, please ask. Okay, and then we will start user privileges. Next topic would be user privileges. So today evening we will start. Please ask if you are having any kind of doubt. Okay, let me just stop recording.